my name's Keith, and today we're going to talk about my hobby progress this week. I have a tutorial for you all this week, and we will be slap chopping some zombies from the cult classic Zombicide. Slap chopping is a method in which you use contrast paints followed by regular opaque paints to achieve a really unique look. And it's quick and it's simple, and so I decided to put it to the test. And if it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, don't fret too much. Let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. Here are the two walkers that we will be painting up today. I've already primed them in Pro Acryl's matte gray primer, and we are going to establish an undercoat using the three paints in front of us before we apply the contrast paints. We're going to be dry brushing this mini, and starting with the dark gray, I load it into my brush and then wipe most of it off onto the paper towel. I'm going to be vigorously dry brushing this mini. I'm trying to get the edges of the bristles onto the raised surfaces, not the tips, and I'm trying to get into basically every little crack and crevice, barring the deep recesses. I'm trying to establish a gradient, but at this point, it's going to be barely noticeable. Next, we're going to continue the dry brushing, this time moving up to that lighter gray. I'm going to wipe off more of the paint on the paper towel, and I'm going to very carefully dry brush this time, only going from the top down, trying to hit the tops of those angles to create that image of light really hitting it. You will tell from the video it is much less vigorous. It's also important to note that while the clips may flip-flop between the figures, I'm doing each step on both minis. After we highlight the minis, now it's time to shade them. And while I may show the colors I used, it's important to know that you can use whatever colors you want. I experimented a lot during this project, and it was a whole lot of fun. I used a dirty brown shade to darken the mini and establish some depth to the shadows, and I really wanted a grungy appearance, which is why I chose this color. Conversely, I used a lighter, warmer reddish brown shade for the fleshy parts, and I left it splotchy. Now normally shades will run into the cracks and the crevices and you want to try and avoid the flat areas, but with the skin tone of the zombies I wanted dark spots just randomly around. The next step is more dry brushing, this time starting at that lighter gray and again working from the top down, but being slightly more vigorous than before because we have some added shadows to work with. This is also the step where you start to be like, ooh baby, okay, I can see where this is going a little bit, so stay tuned. For the final round of dry brushing, we are using this off-white to help establish some yellow tones to the skin that the contrast paints will pick up beautifully. Now I am being super careful and only going from the top down of the most raised portions to try and establish that light gradient. Here's a clip of all that hard work we did with dry brushing and then shading and then dry brushing again. Now we get to move on to the fun part, which is actually applying the contrast paint. I chose an orange for this zombie's dress, but the color really doesn't matter, go wild. I tried to keep boots consistent with a dark brown, and then I tried to keep the skin consistent as well, and I have a clip of the skin here. Contrast paints are phenomenal. They tint the shadows, but really bring a powerful pop of color to where we dry brush those lighter grays and even that off-white. Here's a clip of the minis with just the contrast paints applied. You could stop here, they look fantastic, but we're gonna take it one step further. The second part of Slap Chop is applying opaque paints. So I chose an orange and I thinned it down with water, and I am applying it over the raised edges where we put that lighter gray originally. This is going to help establish that color and keep it semi-consistent in the raised edges where the dry brushing may not have been as consistent, and it's showing through the contrast paint. With those highlights placed over the raised areas, it's time to move on to the eyes. This is often one of the questions I get the most about, is how do you paint those? It's not something that I try and stress about, especially with zombies. A quick black dot for the sunkenness of it, and then a little white dot to showcase the pupil, and they look fun. Of course, no mini is finished until the base is finished. I could do a basing scheme with these, but I decided to just paint the tops black to help showcase the contrast of the mini, and to paint the rim a violet color. There's multiple types of zombies in Zombicide, and this will help distinguish the walkers from the other types. And now it's time for the glamour shots. I painted up 4 zombies in total this week, 3 walkers and 1 runner. I'm super happy with how they turned out. The only thing I have to add is I did of course, varnish them in a matte varnish. And then I added a little bit of a technical paint, which gives that blood effect, so make them look real creepy. But I'm super happy with how they turned out. These guys look amazing. And that has been my hobby progress this week. I'm super excited to actually give y'all a semi-competent tutorial. I know I've tried to do it in the past. I feel like this one is a little bit more successful. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it inspires you to paint some zombies. A couple housekeeping things. I normally do a board game review at the end of the video, but this video took a little bit more effort, and even though I planned on it, like I have it right here, it was going to be Karmika. We'll talk about it next week. I need to get food. I'm hungry and restaurants are closing. And finally, a special announcement. We got a new subscriber. Thank you, new subscriber. But I actually know this new subscriber. About a year ago, I started posting videos, obviously, but I was painting minis a little bit before that. And I was watching a YouTube channel, a smaller YouTube channel at the time, called Mini Warmutt up here. And he posted a lot of Zombicide videos and other things like that. So he kind of gave me the go-to without knowing it to start this channel. And recently I commented on one of his videos and just thanked him for the encouragement, and he subscribed. So thank you, Mini Warmutt, for subscribing. It means a lot, and you have been a source of inspiration for me. And with that, that's all I have. So if you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below about what you think about the paint scheme, and if you really liked what you saw and you want to see more, I release a video like this every Thursday, so hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date. And remember, I'm Keith, this has been the Paint Log, and I will see you all next time. Bye!